third-party items used in this video are the Meta Wardrobe Daily Update by Relentless Games. This is an ever-growing wardrobe, and most of these items have been converted for use in Unreal Engine 5.6 Metahuman Creator, so get your hands on this. It's $27.99 for personal and $129.99 for professional. Also used in this video is Thumbnailer by Eel Dev. This, you can make a thumbnail from anything in your project. You can make a thumbnail for it. It is $19.99 for the personal and $199.99 for professional. These devs are looking out for you, giving you a better price as an independent dev, so be sure to support these products. I will link them both below. What's happening, everybody? Welcome and welcome back. If you've been here before, Amp Capo, Black Adonis Games. We are inside of the Mutable Deep Dive series, and this is going to be episode 3. Today we're going to be finishing up what we started with the hair, and then going ahead and we are going to be adding clothing to the lobby character. Now this clothing needs to already be set up for your metahuman. I have videos on it and there are plenty floating around the net if you need to do that, but this clothing needs to already be set up for your metahuman. So we're going to go ahead and go in, and first you're going to notice that when we left off there was an error kicking off and I didn't realize it. Apologize for that. I did not mean to leave you guys with this error. We're going to go ahead and fix that first thing. So the first thing we're going to want to do is go into our character here in the lobby, and you just want to open that character up. And inside of the character, the reason we're getting the error is because we have the head following the body, and in their setup they have the head as the leader, and I do not like this, so I changed it. So what we're going to do is just drag the body up to where the head is, release, and then we just want to go ahead and save that. And then when we go back down, that error should stop firing off, and we're ready to go into the rest of our tutorial. Now, the first thing that we're going to do is go back into our customizable object that we had open before. So we're just going to go ahead and open that up. Inside the customizable object, I've moved the body over to here. We're going to need room for the clothing. Also on hairstyles, I wanted to show you something about states and explain the state section to you. If you remember, when we first started the video, we were going into certain states and we were removing the runtime parameters. Now we're going to go ahead and start using those. The first one I did was the head. All right, and I'm going to explain to you what I did. Inside of the head runtime parameters, there's nothing selected. We're going to go ahead and we're going to select our hair. Now, what's very important about this is that these sections separate and show where your items are going to show up in the dynamic generated GUI. All right, so we are going to look down, and if you look down under the state UI meta data, you're going to see a UI order and then the thumbnail for that section. This is very important. We want our hair to also have a UI order of 3 for everything under this group. I've already set it up. So you just want to type the number 3 in this section. That will ensure that this shows up under this section, number 3. The next thing I did was added the extra information. You're going to want to copy this. Just type use thumbnails in this first section. And this is going to allow you to have thumbnails instead of just dashes that you're toggling back and forth between. You're going to actually be able to see your item. All right, and then the extra assets will be this none thumbnail. So this is when you're not using hair. And then we just want to change this. I have one with no hair here that's bald. So when your character has no hair, it should show this thumbnail. All right, so we're going to go ahead and compile that. Now to test this, we're going to go ahead and save, and we're going to go back into our player, and we're just going to play here. And when we go to customize, you're going to see that we have click on the bald and the character is bald, click on the hair and the character has hair. So now I'm going to go ahead and put this up as well. And you will notice another thing, that this is showing up under the regular cloth section instead of just under the head. That's because we have not assigned any items to this section. So for now, this will show up in every section of the UI. Once we start adding to these other sections, this will move to its proper section. Let's go ahead and stop, and we're going to go back into our customizable object. Now back in here, we're going to go to our actual updo, And now in our updo, we do not need to mess with the Z order of the child. It's going to automatically fall under the UI order of this object group, which is 3. So you can leave these at 0. What we're going to do next is we are going to add our thumbnail for our hairdo, which is updo. And I'm just going to scroll down till I see it. There it is. And now if we compile and save this, go back out and press play, you're going to notice now that we have our icon here. So now this is with the updo, without the updo. Now let's go back into our customizable object and we are going to create some clothing lanes here. And we are just going to start off by using a full outfit, which covers the entire body. That's what I'm going to do first. So we're just going to drag off of this and we're going to create 4 object groups. The first, full outfit. And then we want to make another one just for tops. Did the wrong one there. We need to do object group. Make sure it's object group. And then we're going to make another one for bottoms, object group. And we're going to make one for shoes, object group. So now we have these 4 object groups. These are going to be all of the clothing groups. So we're just going to move these over here under the body area. And we are going to start off with full outfits because it is the easiest. And we want to set this up as 1 or none. That's pretty much what we want to do for all of these. All right, now full outfits, we're going to create our own section for this in the states. All right, so we're going to go back here to our base object and you see we have states here. What we're going to do is we're going to actually copy the body state. So I'm just going to right click this. I'm going to press copy. Then we're going to add another state and I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to paste here. Then we're going to open this body state and we're going to call this full body. So I'm just going to type the word full in front of that. And now we have our full body section. We want to go down and this body, what we want to do is see who has the last UI section, which I believe the last section is the head, which is section 3. So for our full body, if you see here the UI order, we're going to change it to 4. Let's go ahead down to our full body and we're going to go down to our state UI here and we're going to change this to 4. And then also we're going to need another icon. They do have a few extra icons provided here. We'll just maybe try to pick one out of these icons. Where are these located? In game shared. All right, so we want to go to the game shared folder and it looks like they don't have all of the icons here. There were some UI underneath the character folder, UI elements. I actually brought some of these over from the older version of Mutable from 5.5, so you may not have any of these. I'm just picking one just to use for this situation. Doesn't really matter which one. I'll just use this color one here. All right, that way we just have an icon for our section. Next, we want to go ahead and we want to create our child object. And I want mine to be called Crimson Rogue Outfit. And it looks like I spelled something wrong in there. Let's figure it out here. And there's no spaces. There we go. And we are going to go ahead and I'm going to grab my clothing items, which I've already created all of mine here. We should have Metahuman clothing. Let me go ahead and set this color. Makes it easier for me to locate. And we have my character's clothing. I have 43 items here that I've already created. And I'm going to go ahead and grab this Crimson Rogue outfit. And we are just going to drag off of this, get our mesh section for our color. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to take that mesh section and we're going to add it to a mesh component. We want to add it to the body. And then we're just going to go ahead and plug that in. Now, underneath this child object, we could go ahead here and put our thumbnail. We do not need to worry about the UI order in this case because it's going to fall under the UI order of this full outfit. Now I'm going to teach you about assigning these to different sections. What we want to do is I'm going to grab this thumbnail really fast, which I already should have thumbnails here for it. So if I type crimson, I don't see it. Let me just go into my thumbs, and where y'all at? Here we go. Thumbnails, and that should be a different color too. That's why it was hard for me to find it. All right, and we're going to go ahead and we're just going to drag our thumbnail in here. All right, and for our full outfits, we got one or none. Now we're going to go back into that full body that we created, and we want to go ahead and add under our runtime parameters, we want to add the full outfit to this. All right, and that actually should be full outfits. You can go ahead and change that, and you could just change the name by clicking down below here. Makes it a lot easier. And I just want to make sure that that's still holding up here, because sometimes when you change the names, it will remove the parameter, as you've seen it did here. So you want to go back in and reset that. So if you change any names out here, you're going to have to go back in to your states and make sure that you reassign that object. Now we're just going to compile, and now we should have this full outfit. We have the thumbnail set up for the outfit. We have everything together. I'm going to go ahead and comment this section as full outfits. This is where we will put the remainder of our full outfits. So I'm going to go ahead, and now that we have our full outfit set up here, we are going to go and check and see how things are looking in our UI. Also, you should see your full outfit show up here. We should be able to go highlight it, and there you go. We have our full outfit. Now we're going to go ahead and press play, go to our customize, and you'll see our full outfits here, but you see how there's a toggle switch? We don't want a toggle switch. Okay, so let's go fix that first. So the reason why it's doing that is because under our category here, we have one or none, but we did not put the extra information as we have here in the hair. So you can literally copy this information from the hair. So you can say copy and paste here. First extra information we're going to paste, and that's the use thumbnails, because we want it to use thumbnails. That's a command. So that's how it knows in the dynamic generated user interface to use icons instead of just having a selector switch. And then the same thing with the other none thumbnail, copy extra assets, and you're just going to paste it here. Now we just need to change our thumbnail, and we can just find the one for, here we go. This is good enough. This will show that we're not wearing anything under that category. So we want our full outfits UI order. So we're going to go back to our state, and we're going to go look at our state, which is full body. And we are going to go to our UI metadata. And remember, we put this under UI 4. So we want to make sure that this is under 4 UI order so that it will populate that section. So now if we compile and we save this and we go back in and we press play and we say customize, now you're going to see both are showing up. Now, like I said, until we put tops and bottoms under this first category, these will show up in every single category except for their own. See, now here under head, you're just going to see the hair. And under full outfits, you're just going to see the full outfits. It's just that we have not populated these with anything else, so they're showing up there. I don't like it, but that's what it does. All right, so let's go ahead back in to our customizable object. And the next thing we're going to do is figure out how to remove underwear and top. We want to figure out how to remove those. Now, what I figured out to do in this scenario is to go back into our Metahuman Creator. So go back to your Metahuman and open it. And once your Metahuman is open, if it is rigged as mine is, you're going to have to remove the rig. Now I'm going to show you how to go ahead and set your character skin up. Let me go ahead to hair and clothing. We're going to go down here. And I'm going to see if I have any more wardrobe items. Let me go ahead and check my meta wardrobe here, and we're going to go to outfits. And the nice thing about this is that you can actually just select meta wardrobe items. And this is why I love using these assets. They are already set up, and you can just drag all of the clothing in at once under the wardrobe items here, and you have a bunch of clothing. Now we should have one called a bikini. I'm gonna go ahead and put that one on. And then I'm gonna show you how to set up your body so that the top and the bottom, as you see here, they're not there. Okay, so I'm gonna put the bikini on and I'm gonna take this off. All right, so now we're just in the bikini. Now, all I did for this is if you go to your material section, of course you have the show top underwear. So you could turn that off or you could turn that on. But then down here in the bottom, if you come down here, you could enable texture overrides. So you see that? So all I did was I enabled the texture overrides. I went down to the body and there's a section you can click here and there's a bunch of sections you can put underwear mask. This will mask all of the underwear. And you got all kinds of different settings like the chest cavity and everything. So you can, override the materials for these sections. So all I did was go in and find black masks. I just typed in black and there was a black mask here. So I just went ahead and highlighted that, and you should have that because it's part of the Metahuman common materials. So just select the black mask and then it will actually take the bottom underwear and remove it. Because you see, if I do this and then I put top underwear on, that's the underwear. But if I click this to remove the top underwear, or I could even leave it on, as soon as I turn this on, all the underwear is off. So then what you want to do is you just want to export your character with any items on. You want to export this character with these items removed. So that's what we're going to do right now. And I'm just going to change the hairstyle so I can grab another hairstyle while I'm at it. I'll just pick one here. The next thing I want to do now is I want to go ahead and we are going to re-rig the character. And then we're going to go ahead and assemble this character. Okay, I believe it's rigged now. We can go ahead and assemble. And I'm just going to name this one MHC for Metahuman Character. And we're going to put Kepaki. I'll just put naked. That way I know that this one possesses the naked skin. So I'll put naked skin. And so we can get the optimized for UE is good enough. And we're just going to go ahead and assemble that. And it's going to take a little minute. So I'm going to go ahead and stop and I'll be back when it's done. All right, looks like it's done. So we can go ahead now and we should be able to close our Metahuman for now. I don't want to leave it open as it is very heavy on the system. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to just close that. I'm going to go ahead and do a save all. And we are going to go ahead now and we're going to set this up so that these items do not show the clothing underneath. What we can do is actually just copy our body mesh here and we're just going to duplicate this. All right, and then after we duplicate it, we're just going to move this to its own section because we're going to set this up to be usable with all of our items. We are going to just comment this as body naked, and we are going to go to this MI body baked, and you want to just highlight this, and you can see here that we have our underwear on. We're just going to go ahead and find our naked one. So I'm just going to type naked, and then here you got the teeth bake, and we're just going to put body so we can get straight to the body. And here we're just going to replace this with this mesh. This is the naked body mesh. All right, so now what we can do is we can center this a certain way to where we can use this for every single item that we need this done with. So we're going to go ahead and all we have to do is interject this into our body mesh for this full outfit. All right, so now if I compile this, you'll see here that now the body is correct. Now this is very nice because that means we can do this for any outfit that needs these items set this way. Also for tops and bottoms, I'll show you in a future video how you adapt and adjust to those as well. But now you can see that we have a full outfit that's correct here. We have the underwear removed. We can go ahead and press play. So now if we go to customize and we remove the outfit, you're going to see the underwear pop back on. And then when you put the outfit on, it will come on without any underwear on. So that is beautiful. This is getting pretty close to where I want to end it. I was trying to keep these videos under 25 minutes. I want to show you one more thing though before we go ahead and leave out, and that is going to be the coloring of outfits. What we're going to do for this is you're going to go ahead and go to your material for your actual old standard character here. And that's the reason why I keep this around, is because there are a lot of things that are still good to use from this old character until we don't need them anymore. Now, if you go into any material pretty much of this older character, look for any node that says color variation. This color variation node is assigned to a certain group called adjustment. Just copy this node, and we don't need that material anymore. Now go to your clothing item and open the material for that item. Now, once you're in here, you just want to go to the master material, and you can see that this does have a tint color node, but if we go and try to look for adjustment, it's not there. You could technically leave this one here if you wanted to, but I'm going to go ahead and we're going to break the node links for this one, and we're just going to paste that color variation, and you'll see the adjustment pop in. And even now, if I highlight this one and I click, you'll see adjustment is available for tint color. We're just going to move that to the side and not worry about it. And I'm just going to keep this color variation node, and I'm just going to plug this in. And I like to multiply this. So let's go to multiply, and we just want to go to the multiply node. And I actually want to put this in the top, the base color or the diffuse, and put this in the bottom. And then we're just going to drag this into the base color. All right, so that's going to bypass these other nodes that were originally in here. So we're just going to go ahead and delete these. I don't need them anymore. And we're just going to apply that. Now we're going to go back into our customizable object, and we're going to highlight here, and we're going to refresh this node. And you will notice over here that the color variation shows up, and now we just have to check it, and you'll see a color variation input. So we'll drag off of this input, and under color, you want to go to color parameter and name it what you want. I'm going to name mine Crimson Outfit Color. Now with this, we want to make this be one UI order behind the main object group. So this is 4. We want to make these be 5, so they will show up underneath the outfits. All right, so you want to make this 5. And now once we compile this, you'll see that it shows up here, and you'll see that you got your Crimson Outfit Color. If you hit this and you change the color, you'll see the outfit changes color. So now we have to go to the state to make this active in the user interface. Just remember, the state is how you're going to actually activate this in the user interface. So we'll go under our full body, which we have here. We have full outfits. We're going to add one more runtime parameter, and we're going to go down, and you're going to see Crimson Outfit Color. You want to add that. Now we're going to compile this, save it, and we're going to go ahead and press play. And now if we go to customize, you'll see your Crimson Outfit Color under here. All right, if you turn this off, no color. Turn it on, there's your color. Go in, and now you could change the color of your outfit. So it's that simple to get that done. Now you have a basic character with an outfit that works. You know how to set up the body so that the underwear are not there when you do not need them. In the next video, we are going to add the tops, the bottoms, and we're going to add multiple items. We're having a problem with the hair currently. I can only do 2 hairdos, and then for some reason the system starts crashing out and going crazy. I don't know if that maybe is just a bug in Mutable that they need to figure out, or if it's something to do with the new way metahumans are created. I have no idea at this point. I'm going to figure it out though, but that's where we're going to leave this video. Like I said, I was trying to keep these under 25 minutes. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit the notifications so you know when I drop something new, and share the content. We will be back with episode 4, Amp Capo, Black Adonis Games.